Gonna make some tea, fellas. Sorry if I clip. We've got some audio issues to work out together. Anybody remember that part of Tron Legacy where he goes, "We have to stick together"? Anybody remember that?
No video is coming.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Making tea right now. Give me a minute. Hey, everybody get all settled in. the Twitch Prime sub. Haven't said that in a hot minute. Alright. Double check my camera, make sure I'm not gonna get myself banned. Some more lights. Wanna add anything? Let's get you. What's up? Again, I want that closer to. A little warmer than daylight. All right. Sorry, I find myself hovering over the transition button, realizing that this is like the first time I've streamed in like 5-6 months. Soda is just germa for gay people? Germa is germa for gay people. Howdy, fellas. Been a while. Turn off studio mode so I get a more accurate picture here. How's it going? Sorry about the wait. I know I pinged the Discord. Germa's retired? I thought he's just slowed down. He's fully retired? No, you're lying. Brightness jump scare? That's your fault. I do want to change this setting. He called it retired. Making shit for the rest of his life is retired. Oh man. I want the text to be bigger. How do I? I'll figure that out some other time. Music goes hard. This is Trauma Center Under the Knife 2. This is Gentle Breeze. I very much remember this from you know that video Squidward? You know the one. You guys know the video of Squidward? I can't remember the purpose of that meme or what it was named or anything, but I just remember hearing that song with a picture of Squidward going, and then it rotates at 90 degrees on every beat. Okay, let me put on some more music. Just trying to cast a big spell here. Ooh. Not okay. While I was gone. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Oh, I want to say circa August 8th this last year. I had a bit of a career fallout. Some schmuck. We can talk more about it later. But during that time, I decided that it was probably best if I just took some time off the internet. So I loaded up a bunch of things queued ahead of time, and I sat there and I played video games again. When's the last time you guys played a real video game, right? 5 months? You've been subscribed for 5 months? You've been subscribed as long as I've been gone. Have you been mewing? You look different? It's just been like 6 months, man. I'm wearing glasses. My hair's different. I got my braces off. Lots of things. So first things first, I was in a weird place with my career and with my identity online. And my best friend from high school, my lovely friend James, decided that, you know what you gotta do right now? You're at a low point in your life. I got you. You know what he does? He gives me Monster Hunter Rise. Fourth thing with Twitch Prime, so. Now, I had always been cautiously aware of Monster Hunter, but I had never delved quite into it. I was afraid, in fact. I was afraid because it was too Japanese. Then we played that shit all month. I want to read my Steam. Do I still have like the last year's Steam things? Because you can see exactly when all these things happened. Didn't they do like a Steam, like the Spotify year in review thing? Where was that? How do I get to that again? Steam Replay, Steam Rewind. Where is it? I'm so scared. You gotta know the link for it. Front page on Steam. Oh my god. Big picture mode. Jesus Christ. Steam Reprise. Steam Revolutions. I feel like I'm in a Yakuza sub-story right now. I'm trying to fucking find that shit. I didn't click mine because it's 200 hours of Death Stranding and 50 minutes of Cyberpunk. Just you wait, buddy. I went ahead and we played through basically all of Rise. We did the whole base campaign. We did Sunbreak, Golden Sun. We played that. We got pretty far in there. Saw Valstrax. That guy fucking rocks. Sun-Kissed. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. And then I went ahead and played Monster Hunter World right after that. Way better. I loved Monster Hunter World so much. No longer was I afraid of what I called, during my first experience with Final Fantasy VII Remake, J shit. Which is whenever a character pauses for emphasis and they go, or somebody's got a real over the top performance that's just way out there, difficult to believe. But now I have found a newfound appreciation for it. There is a sincerity and an honesty in a lot of Japanese media that I think that we're very much lacking here. Anime and JRPGs are always very dramatic. I was aware of this. My earliest media influences were, believe it or not, anime from the 50s and 60s. I remember watching as late as Mazinger Z. Speed Racer is what my dad made me watch. Dad made me watch Gigantor. Yeah, lots of Tezuka. Some Astro Boy, baby. OMG, you discovered the power of friendship. Baby, you don't even know. So from ages 5 to 14 into like high school, when I started to want to be like cool, I loved tokusatsu. I loved weird, stupid anime. I loved finding those little gems on the internet. I made YouTube my life after that, and I sort of fulfilled that same desire. Kamen Rider. I watched all of W. That was what was big when I was into it. W. Count up your sins, baby. I am back into it because I went and I played Yakuza 0. If you have not played a Yakuza game, I am begging you to play Yakuza 0. It is a love letter to the art form that is video games. It reignited a passion that I had back when I first was exploring the world of computers and the world of the internet that I since had lost or had forgotten about or not focused on for so long. After I played Yakuza 0, I went and I got my hair changed. I went and I got my glasses. I started talking to my family more. And I started reading books. Isn't that fucking crazy? When's the last time you read a book? Huh? Dude straight up had a second awakening. Yeah, you're right. It fucking woke me up. I sat there and I hold on, I have to switch to the melodramatic piano music real quick. I have to switch to the I felt like I had lost a part of myself for so long. I had ignored this aspect of the things that I truly love. Video games. Remember fucking video games? It felt like over the last 10 years, since Overwatch 2016, video games had become marketable. And now that they're marketable, it upset me. It was the reason I stopped liking anime when I was 14. It was because it went from kind of weird niche interest over the course of my life to one of the most marketable forms of media, the easiest thing to goddamn sell on the planet. And I recognized that, and I didn't want to be marketed to. I wanted to be myself. And so I moved away from the things that I was really passionate about. Come on, Skeech. Without truly giving it the respect it deserves. I went, oh no, I don't like those anymore. I don't like Japanese games. I don't like Japanese media. I don't like video games because they're trying to sell them to me. And then I played Yakuza. And I got it again. That the format you use to tell a story, the medium does not matter. It's the message. And that there are artists behind every single piece of work that you consume that desperately want you to understand a part of them. They pour their heart and soul into the things that they create. And what's the message in Yakuza? Yakuza 0 is about what it means to be family, what it means to be a man, to live by your own convictions, and to protect those who cannot protect themselves. it was hard to play Yakuza 0 and see Kiryu Kazuma and not like think about my dad, think about my brother, and think about all like the people that are really important to me. And man, that was different. That was a weird reawakening experience. It felt like the game developers, these Japanese guys 20 years my senior, kept poking at the screen going, yeah, we have a little bit of shared history here. We've got something together. Because I'm 24 years old, same age as Goro Majima and Yakuza 0, I'll have you know. And I always got hand-me-down media growing up. That was not Persephone. I have a second cat. I will introduce you when she shows up. Where is I gotta get something more upbeat. Not Sad 2, but Sad 2 is pretty great. What is You Want Me to Do What is the other one. You Want Me to What? There it is. Here we go. And during that career break, I really understood that people will kind of put their own image of what they think you are over you in their head. But other people's images of you don't actually reflect upon your identity. Instead, they're abstractions that other people create in order to try and fit you into their personal narratives. And after confronting that, I realized that, man, I don't want to live by other people's rules. I don't want to live by the way I think that a porn star should post. I don't want to live the way that I see so many of my peers live, where they go, I have to do this because it's popular, I have to do this because this is my job, I have to do this because it's part of what I've built up for myself. Well, that's fucking lame. You're gonna do shit just because it's popular? You're gonna do shit just because it makes you money? Not anymore. I live by my own convictions. And so I've started doing game dev. That's what I've been doing over the last, like, 5 years. 5 years, 5 months. Independent game dev. Because I am so privileged to be able to work from home for like 2 days out of a week and, you know, make some photo sets and point a camera at some cocks and pussy or whatever. And then what do I do with the rest of the week? Oh my god. Instead of fucking trying to min-max my posts and make better things for a greater audience, to reach more people, to get better engagement, to put better content through my pipeline. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna make shit for me. Are you gonna see some previews of what you've been working on with your game? Not yet. Because I'm still very, very, very early, and I'm still just using ripped assets. I'm not even gonna say like free assets. I love ripping assets. I love stealing software. Part of me truly woke the fuck up back in August. Because my dad taught me how to torrent. My dad taught me, if you ever want a video game and you can't afford it, fucking steal that shit, dude. Taught me how to load up Qubit torrent, how to put on a VPN so that we didn't get letters in the mail, get our internet throttled. And the first things I torrented back then were Oblivion, Hotline Miami, and and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, baby. Back in 2014. Ooh. And so I've just started stealing media again. It rocks. Recommend it highly. I'd buy them if I like the games. Thank you. I'll definitely release them. I'm not gonna release them as John Hollywood the performer. It'll be its own thing. I've kind of created a bunch of little separate identities now of this, just to, doesn't matter anymore. I'm not gonna hide it though. I think some people would be like, oh, I have to keep these absolutely separate and I can't let these two things interact. I had watched Alan Resnick's Alan Tutorial. At no point does Alan Tutorial ever say, oh, by the way, at the end, I'm Alan Resnick, the artist. No, it just lets them exist and other people can go, I know that. I know that funny voice. Private trackers rule. Ooh, buddy, you're telling me. My mix. What is in my mix here? I gotta get another funny song. Gotta get another funny song loaded up. I don't want to click this one, but I do want to click this one. Oh, remember when YouTube was about tutorials? Remember when YouTube was about learning new things? Remember when YouTube was about sharing your ideas? Because we can still do that. You can just do it. Doesn't matter what the fuck Jimmy the Beast's doing over there. And man, I thought that the internet that I loved was dead. But it's not dead, it's just the internet that I loved is people. It's not a thing. It's a community. It's a knowledge. It is a base of knowledge that we all access and play with and toss ideas around. And that's still fucking there. How to jailbreak your BlackBerry, yeah. Lots of Windows Movie Maker tutorials are here. I get it now. I think I get it. The passion behind art. I've gone through a lot of stages in my life, I would say. Done through a lot of, I want to do this. When you're a kid, you go, I want to be an astronaut. Nah, fuck that. I don't want to be an astronaut anymore. I want to be a fireman. Nah, I don't want to do that anymore. I found that I've done that a lot throughout my entire life. It's probably the ADHD and the tism. But I had spent these last 5-6 years of my life focusing on the craft of making pornography. I got pretty good at the craft. I can make stuff that looks pretty good. I can make stuff that sells pretty good. But I had asked myself, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I realized that I had just been going through the motions for the sake of making money, and I wasn't making something that meant anything to me anymore. And every time I had gotten into the mindset of, oh, I want to make something that really means something to me, I want to put that out there, I would get caught in this trap of, well, I am a porn star, so a lot of people are going to see this regardless of whether or not I want them to. A lot of people are going to analyze it from the point of view of porn star made this and not a person made this. I don't care anymore. I don't know. I've freed myself from the expectations of others. Susie Hunter was the same way. Man, I wish I didn't meet her when I did. She was cool. Very tistic. I remember her showing me Devil May Cry 5 before it was out. She's like, I'm a Capcom partner. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you want to check something out? Showed me fucking Devil May Cry 5 before the game was fucking out. I was like, but I was a stupid kid. I was 19, so I didn't appreciate that the same way I should have. And that same day, Natalie Mars gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten in my life. She said to me, not everyone's gonna like you. And I went, yeah, of course not. What do you mean? She said, no, not everyone's gonna like you, and you need to accept that and not try for people who aren't gonna give you the same energy back. And man, I didn't get it then, but I fucking get it now. I think out of context, it sounds like a terribly asshole thing to say, but it really wasn't, especially not at the time. It was comforting. Great. Pinot. I got honey on the side of the glass, and so my little fingies keep getting sticky. She's pretty smart. Oh yeah, she's been around the block. More ways than one. Now I'm so about making games. The book I read, I believe Veruca had asked what book I read. I read Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud, which I'm going to bring to you right here, right now. Now, I didn't read a ton of comics growing up. I read like I read More Than Meets the Eye. That was like the comic that I went out of my way to read the first season of More Than Meets the Eye. But I truly like appreciated the art form for what it meant. This was recommended to me by my good friend, the Goon Cultist. Everybody knows Goon Cultist. Everybody loves Goon Cultist. Is this music too loud? I got another track for right after this. Man, there's a lot of not just important stuff in here about comics. You know, the language that comic artists use to communicate and convey very complex ideas, and ideas that can only exist within the relationship that the author has with the reader. There's so many things that you, as the reader, create. You fill in the gaps. And closure is the principle that he calls it. But also just about the relationship between artists and the art that they create. I had always thought that I would be a data-driven engineer person because I liked numbers. I liked counting. I liked discrete things, not continuous ones. I like individual points. It makes things a little bit easier to understand. But
Hey.
Come here.
Hey.
Go. I got this little sucker in September. Alright, well, she's in playtime mode right now, so I'll, my music end, or did I break my audio again? There it goes. Got that little sucker back in September. I needed some surgery. I was recovering and I didn't recover well. And I was like, talking to the nurse there, she's like, do you live with anybody? Who brought you here? I said, no, it's just me. And she was a young woman about my age. And the face that she made after hearing that I lived on my own and that I had brought myself to an emergency room, she went, oh. So I got a second cat right after that. Her name is Skeech.
Skeecha.
Her full name is Zurichi Simone LaRose Chu V4 Rusty Sneezy Simpson. I'm sure there's a couple extra things in there I have it written down somewhere else. But she's just Skeech. She is so sweet. Hopefully she'll come back in here when she gets sleepy, because she likes to sleep on your lap when you play video games. It fucking rocks. I love that thing. And Persephone and her are friends. They are in fact friends. Believe it or not. Stream with Chris Chan when? Never. It's just, it's nice to feel a little freed from the expectations and the ideas of others, and instead be able to create things that are kind of separated from my personal identity. It's nice. So are you okay? Yes. I have a talk therapist. I have a medication. I'm drinking tea instead of soda. That's how okay I'm doing. This is like an amaretto orange blossom thing. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm very happy to be here. I had a lot that happened. I had a lot that happened in that like six months. August? How many years has it been? I feel a lot older. Because I think after like the Turkey Tom video, that 5-minute spot, and having TikTok people make generalizations and do all this stupid shit and just lying. Having people just lie about who you are and just post it and go, yeah, that's what I want to post. Just not even caring about you made me realize that none of this shit fucking mattered. That all of your virtual identity is kind of bullshit. And that's fucking fine now. I'm fine with that now. I find comfort in the fact that it's all fucking bullshit now. Because now I can really feel like I can put things together with my own voice. I'm gonna put when's the last time you guys heard this track? I swear to God, if I get copyrighted for this track, I'm gonna go crazy. I was 11 years old. Guy, he's like 17. He's a friend of a friend. He's like, so you want to make videos, huh? First thing you gotta do is get Sony Vegas. And I taught myself how to video edit on Sony Vegas with this fucking YTP schmuck. Almost twice my age at the time. And it meant so much to me. I've gone back to the idea of pirating software and stealing ideas and remixing things. And not only did I play Monster Hunter Rise World Yakuza 0, I also went and played Nier Replicant. Not Automata. I'm saving that for this next month. But rather, Replicant. And I played that shit, and I saw that Yoko Taro just shoved all the shit that he really loves in one thing. Just blatantly ripping things and going, I want this mechanic over here. And just putting it in there. Once I realized you could do that, and have everybody love your game, it was like fucking I thought sampling was something you could only do with music. I thought it was just like, and you can only really do it with music because of the copyright and all that. Now who fucking cares? Just do it. Make something. Oh. I've got 2 mice on my goddamn desk. I need to put together a better playlist. This is video game crime jazz. This might be pretty good. Kojima style design. Kojima has a very distinct style. It's fascinating. Went and played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 2. Ever played RE4 Remake? No, and I don't think I will. The kind of game it is doesn't interest me. I've been more fascinated with... I love an action beat 'em up. Yakuza. Alan Wake 2, it's on my to be played list. I have a to be played list. You know how people have like to be read, to be watched lists for media? Now I have a to be played list, a to be watched list, and a to be read list, and this is it's a lot of media, I'm gonna be honest. Especially because I want to play, before I get to Infinite Wealth, I want to play Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and Yakuza 6. Woo! Woo! Some long games. But they're so worth it. The Japanese, they cook. They let that shit simmer. You know what I'm saying? They got that on a pot in the stove, and they're just stirring that up. For like, you got a brisket, baby. You got a stew going. RE4 remake when? I don't know. Not really interested in survival horror. I don't really care. I'm gonna play Like a Dragon. So I watched my friend stream all of Like a Dragon, all of it. But I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to play Yakuza Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, Song of Life, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I don't think I'll play Manuel Erased His Name. My friend streamed all that too. We've just been doing this this thing where instead of, booting up Apex Legends or booting up Fortnite, booting up whatever the live service game of the day is, we just play a single player game and we stream it so that our friends could watch, and we're all just like on the couch having a good time. Will I try Persona 3 Remake? I have watched my friend stream a little bit about it. I did post about it on main. Because I don't give a fuck anymore. And I thought it was pretty funny. I thought my post about it was pretty funny. I'll bring it up real quick. God. Hi, Skichu. What's up? What are you doing down there? You wanna hang out? Oh man, it's like my worst performing post I think ever. And that makes me so happy. Fuck. F11? No, that's the God, this key doesn't have an F11. How I made this. I thought it was pretty funny. Academics 2. I can't wait to have games to show you guys, because I've really went and I've gone kind of whole hog on the conceptualization stage, because I think that's the part that interests me the most. I like making mood boards. I like listening to music and posting that. Epsre, thank you for the big 6 months. I think that calls to a part of my creative side that I didn't get to really fucking do with porn. I mean, I could have. I was like, I'm given the option here to make porn music videos that would be banging, right? And would be really cool, but I'm not really interested in it. I'm more interested in making people laugh and smile, and cry, than I am making people come. That being said, I will accept Yoko Taro's philosophy of every character must be pretty sexy. That's a good approach to making video games. I agree wholeheartedly with that one. Somebody said, have you been viewing earlier? Do I really look that different? I think all I did was that. Thank you, Acid Puppy.
What are you forgotten?
If you can make them sexy, no reason not to. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I have started doing Blender art, because that's like a part of it. I think I started in November, made like 5 or 6 pretty solid renders. Still learning animation. That one's really hard. Animation's the next step, really. Are you done with porn? No, it's still my job. It's just my job. That's all I treat it as anymore. It's not my fucking life. It's something that it's like walk into the village well, you know? Carry the water on my back. It's just part of what I do. But I don't think about it, and I don't care about it. And you might think that that might be bad. It might be, oh, the product you're gonna make is much worse. But I'll tell you what, a lot of performers, in fact, I would say the vast majority of them, care much less and do way worse and make way more. So I'll accept the fact that my craft is weird and just make things that are kind of cool and fun and easy. That's the big part, is that I had been focusing on the craft a lot, on the action of making pornography, and not the purpose, the idea. So I got really good at getting a good shot. I got really good at a good angle, really good at a nice lighting scheme, but why was I doing it? The passion is gone. No? I just took my passion and I put it in a place where it fucking mattered. Why the fuck should I be passionate about pornography? The way people treat pornography is as this disposable commodity that exists only when you view it. It has no sort of conscious permanence in most people's mind, at least not one that they're aware of. I know it does dominate the lives of, I would say, the majority of the people in the developed internet-connected world. They just don't want to admit it. But why the fuck would I care about that when I could put all of that love, all of that passion, all of that, I want to get this shot, I want to have this music sync into a fucking video game? Right? You're surprised to hear this take? That I just don't care about my job? I didn't make... I think it was after 5 years of working in my job, I just got bored of it. It's a boring job. You meet the same people, you do the same scenes, and you sell the same product over and over and over again. And every time I would step out and try and make something new, I was shut down. Every time I approached a company and went, here's a cool idea I have, here's a presentation I made about it, the laser pointer and everything. Here's what I want. Here's how much money I need. They would go, let's slow down for a minute. Let's just keep doing the things that work. Because corporations are incredibly risk averse. Risk is bad to them because risk means you are changing something. But if you want to do something that somebody has never done before, you need to take a risk. I don't know how many times I had to explain this to people who are twice my age, working in the same fucking job since 1970 whatever, who have money pouring out of their ass from rebills from 60-year-old men's credit cards. I'm like, I need 10 grand and a studio space. That's all I need, and I can make the best fucking product that your company has ever seen. And they go, what if we did a stepbrother, like a stepbrother, stepsister scene? And so I gave up on them. I'm not gonna fight in that world. Why? Why would I do that? It's like, why would I put that much of myself? Because when you create anything, not just pornography, not just art, you create anything, I think you pour a good amount of yourself into it. And it's draining to not have that work be recognized or respected in any meaningful way. Not just by the world, it's pornography, it's a disposable medium, it's fast food, it's candy. It's drugs, it's alcohol. No, even alcohol has a much better, much higher regard in society than pornography. But why would I do that when I've got all the love and care and passion that I can put into fucking video games? So I'm starting learning to Godot first instead of Unity, because I didn't like Unity's terms of service changes, and Godot is free and open source. So that, however, that does mean that whenever I want to do interesting, weird shader effects, I essentially have to write them myself. So I took Harvard's CS50 computer science course in the last 4 or 5 months. And then from that, I've started learning GDScript. I skipped fucking Python. Who needs to... I hate Python. I hate high-level coding languages. I don't get it. You show me that same shit in C++, you show me that same shit in Rust, I get it. I hate when they abstract concepts so far beyond what the actual computer is doing. It's frustrating. It's like, oh, this is what this is actually doing, is creating an array of numbers. Then create an array of numbers, asshole. C++ and Rust are high-level languages. Are they not much closer to systems-level language? I mean, they're not assembly code, and they're not compiler, but they're a lot lower level than fucking Python and JavaScript. Johnny Pedant over here fucking pushing up his glasses. I'm actuallying me. Rust is a lot lower level than fucking Python. You can't tell me otherwise. The moment you have to specify your variable types, you're deeper in the fucking trenches. That's all it really needed for me, is specifying variable types. I think people view pornography as disposable because I don't care. I'm sorry, but I don't care. I don't care the way other people view pornography. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It's just my job. It's retail. It's like if I go to my fucking shift at Target, I do not give a fuck about what the greater opinion of the world is on Target. There are variants of the Python that the compiler requires types. I understand that you want to express your prowess here in coding languages, because you are much further than me. You are. Most people are. I'm still just starting. But the message that you're sending me is not encouraging. It's discouraging. And you have to be aware of that. Read any other life-changing books? Oh no, this is the first one that I've read since high school. Some essays. Essays. I think that was more important. I like a short amount of text, and I like a picture with my text. That's why this was so fucking great. Oh my god, it's got pictures in it. It helps me place the ideas in a kind of abstract space. Makes it a little bit easier, rather than just a flood of information, rather than flood of idea. It is, okay, focus on this idea in this panel, this idea on this panel. I think you can find 10K in a studio from outside the. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want 10K in a studio from outside the porn industry to make a porn music video that won't make me any money, and it won't fulfill any desires that I have besides, oh man, it would be nice for these visuals to exist. Because that's all it really is a porn music video, is visuals associated with music. There's a very little narrative or message to convey through that. That being said, you can do it. If you got an idea, go do it, man. If there's anything that I've learned over the past fucking 5 months, it's that no matter what you do, so long as you never give up. Ganbari ikuze, my friends. Let's try our hardest. Never give up. I don't think I've ever seen any PMV that had a message. There are certainly ones that pull you through a narrative, a kind of pseudo-narrative. I especially look at the works of Raw Source. Raw Source does this great job of establishing an aesthetic for each song. He uses the instrumentation in an interesting way, where, like, oh, in a call response in music, they'll go, okay, let's have the call be this character or this position or this this trope. Let's have the response juxtapose that in some way. And so you can get this cool alternating thing the way you would acoustically with the music. Do I have any Transformers? Yes, I do. Not very many of them. Pronouns, he, they. Are they not in the thing below my stream or my Twitter? You should probably add like a pronouns command. I just don't care anymore. Say she, her. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't reflect upon me, actually. I think I've come to the true, real, final transhumanist belief, which is that your opinion of who I am isn't who I am. Your mind does not affect what is in my mind, at least not directly. It's the art that we make, the ideas that we share, that's what affects other minds. Any update on the rigs? What rigs? Camera rigs? I don't give a fuck about cameras anymore. Cameras are just they're tools. There's no greater sense of freedom than not giving a fuck about what anybody thinks about you. I mean, I certainly had to have a modicum of that belief already established before I started pornography, right? You kind of got to be willing to embarrass yourself in a way that most people aren't. I suppose it comes from being a performer, a class clown at heart, and liking when people enjoy the ideas that I create. But I found very, very recently that I had gotten so obsessed with the craft and getting the good shot, getting the good performer, and getting the good lighting that I had neglected the idea. And I went, that sucks. Well, how long has it been since I thought about making good ideas and not good shots? So now I've got all these little design documents dropped up. You guys ever use Obsidian? Not to be that guy. Now it's like a fin stream the way I just burped directly into the mic. Obsidian is a fantastic note-taking program. It's got like a ton of plugins and shit, but fuck all that. Fuck all the plugins and the Kanban boards and the canvas items and the CSV exports and the tables and all those. All you need to do with it is take notes. It's just better than the iPhone Notes app. It's better than fucking making a new text file in Windows. That's what I used to do. Whenever I needed to take a note, is I'd just make a new text file and I just put it on my desktop. But now I've got like cool shit going on. Let me see if I can demonstrate a little bit here. I don't want to, go too deep into my notes here. You can see where I've been putting my focus, which has been the Magnum Opus over here. I don't want to kind of click any of these. Is it shareware? It is freeware, but it is not open source. However, it does have a very, very established community. This looks like Path of Exiles. Whenever somebody opens Path of Exiles, this is what this looks like to me. It's just fucking noise. What's more important is that, like, let me go to Godot here. Read mode. You can kind of just take nice little notes. And you can embed notes into others. One of my favorite things about it. One of my favorite things is, let's say you get down to the bottom here. And you realize you, I want to make a new character. Sorry, this keyboard's different than the one I normally type on. And you go, oh, okay, cool. By establishing that link, despite I have no pages named character, if I click that shit right there, now it's made a note with that name. And if I change that name to Schmuck, ain't that fucking cool? And so I can sit there and conceptualize things and go, oh, I'm gonna need a character here. I'm gonna need a weapon, a tool. Let me see if I can find one that I am willing to show you guys. It's gotta be Torque Dorkler Tactical Snorkeler. You can just sort of organize things, make little notes, and link it. And when I have in my the Magnum Dopus over here, I've got links to you can embed YouTube video. Got links to all this shit, and I can click Torque Dorkler Tactical Snorkeler. You're right there. Obsidian, ladies and gentlemen, use it. It's great. Somebody said it looks too complicated. It doesn't fucking matter. Just use it to take notes. I'll just click new note. Or hell, there's a button where you can say, every time I open it, just make a new note. And you can use it that way. You can search through your notes. And you can just do it. You can just do that. That is how you use Obsidian. All the other shit, tags, folders, the fucking embedded tables and being able to run code in it. All that shit is for once you've already understood the base concept, which is using it to take notes. Please do that. I beg of you. It would be nice to know. I just want to know that if I influenced you in some way. You. Why are you so wiggly? Oh, you wanna hang out with Persephone. She's staring at Persephone in the other room. If only you knew the depth and breadth of your influence. Yeah, but I wish it was like cool. You know? I'm aware that I'm an influential character in the internet. I'm aware that I've made my mark on the internet in a weird way, that if you stare long enough and you squint your eyes and you adjust your glasses, you go, this motherfucker's been there for a while. Huh. I don't think anyone truly knows the depth and breadth of where I've been on the internet and who I am on the internet. Really fascinating, because other people have this image of me of I know some Turkey Tom called me a detransitioner pedophile. Neither of those things are true. I know that I've been called trans porn icon. I don't feel about that. You can see two of them at the same time. Turkey Tom is a cunt. He was fine when I talked to him. He just seems like he's like 20s, right? He's just young and stupid. We were all young and stupid. If I got that many viewers when I was 20, Jesus Christ, I'd be fucked. I think I had the gift of relative obscurity for a long time. gonna move this so that the there we go. Now it's on like the black background. That's pleasant. Can't wait for him to learn to be in his 30s and learn that he's wasted his life. I'm sure he doesn't think that he's wasted it. I think he's just he'll figure something out. I don't care. I don't judge other people anymore. Doesn't matter to me. Make whatever you want, man. Guy got his views. Persephone is so much happier with the other one. I'll tell you that. I always felt like I wasn't able to give her enough attention. Ah! Shit. I always felt like I was never able to give her enough attention, that she wanted to play all the time. And now this one, it was very clearly a Bengal mutt thing, wants to play all the time. Much to Persephone's chagrin. And I wish I had a cigarette. I'm gonna do the Kojima thing where I just lean back and do a cool cigarette smoking pose. How old is she? She is... Are you almost 7 months now? Okay, fine. She doesn't want to be carried right now. She'll crawl into my lap when she wants to. She's very small. She's very baby. I got her September 20-something. I actually went into the local animal shelter, and I went, "Hi, I'm here to see one of the cats I saw on your internet page. I'd love to see Minerva, please," was her name. Flat gray, perfect blue eyes. So sweet and so gentle, and she meowed at me through the little bar and stuck her little paw on. I put my finger up there, and she held my finger with her paw. And it was great. And I was like, cool, let me take this sucker home. She was like, all right, our one clerk is actually in at lunch right now. Can you come back or wait until 1 p.m.? And I said, I have a doctor's appointment at 1:15. And they were like, you should probably go do that. Hope somebody doesn't adopt her in the meantime. As I'm coming back, as I am walking my way into the door from my doctor's office, I am taking steps in, and I see somebody with a kitty carrier in their hand, poor Minerva with her paw sticking out as we walk past one another. And I go, oh, oh. How wide can I get this without getting banned? I go, ah. Oh well. It wasn't meant to be, I suppose. And then they were like, well, have you checked this room? There's a little middle room in like the center of this larger building where they accepted. That's where like the fresh pulls came in, fresh gotcha pulls for the old cats. And I said, no, I didn't actually check in there. In the back of that room was 3 kittens. They were Ziggy, Lock, and Stock. Iggy had already been taken. And I saw Ziggy here. That is her name from the shelter. And when I reached my hand out to her, she gave me the weakest. Like, I'm so tired, but I still want to play with you. And man, I fell in love right there. And she's got this beautiful pattern. She's got this cool spiral thing going on. She's got the white socks. I love you. She loves being picked up. Not right now. She loves being picked up when she's in the love being picked up mode. I'll tell you that. It's phenomenal. She's got those pretty white paws. Little did you know she probably would have been mortal enemies with Peach. Probably, because it's a lot harder to get cats to like one another than I thought. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard, and I had done a lot of research, and sorry to spray that into the microphone, but I'm cleaning on my screen. This is the jerk off room, so I went ahead and like set up this room here. I got a second litter box. Oh, that made it. I like that one. Can we go here? Let's go here. Is she a little bipolar? No, it's just that, like, new animal, and she was the only one I had. You know? Get her back there. So I had never introduced her to another animal. So I had to have them, like, on opposite sides of the door, slowly moving the, This is the week I'm recovering from surgery, by the way. So I had my friend over to help. My lovely best friend, Wiggin, who you might have met on the stream. You might remember Wiggin. I want you to pretend that when I brought up Wiggin right there, he was like, "You talking about me?" And in like a Yakuza thing, and he did like the walk from out of frame. He did that. Just I want you to imagine that in your head right there. You might remember him as a longtime friend, very helpful in my time of need. This last fucking 5 months. Thoughts on Fallout New Vegas? It's all right. I'm not in love with it like so many other people are. Is that a The Mountain shirt? Yes, it is, but even though The Mountain is like a brand that's like cheap Amazon crap, I got this from a thrift store in Japan. I think that's a more fun story, considering it's just like cool dragon JPEG. Cool dragon JPEG, like come on, that rocks. I think I like the story of it being from a thrift store in Japan more so than I like the actual shirt itself. Thing, comma, Japan. Oh, it's just now I have a story about where I got it, you know? I prefer the... I suppose I'm one of those waxing poetic types that believes that objects have a kind of memory. Or at least they do in my internal mythos. Places don't, but things do. I think I might be, I'm autistic. Can I say the R word here? Hey! Things I own are inextricably tied to those whoever gave them to me. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing I really feel, especially with gifts are my love language, personally. Oh, I gotta show you guys something. So I to show my appreciation for James, who gifted me Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter World, and Yakuza 0. He gifted me all of these things. I built him a keyboard, because his keyboard is the same one we had gotten back in high school, now 7-8 years ago. Weird thought. we had gone to Best Buy to get like an iBuyPower pre-built, and those come with like a mechanical feel rubber dome keyboard. It's like $12 if you wanted to buy it on its own on Amazon. I built this motherfucker. The coolest goddamn keyboard I've ever built. This motherfucker. I was jealous. I'm getting pictures of it right now. Legitimately, I finished building this thing. Can I say copy link? And I was pretty mad because I was like, this is much better than any other board I've ever built. Say copy link. Can I just like click it? Can I middle click it to open a new tab? Can I do that with videos on Discord too? Come on. Come on, Discord. Come on. Ignore all the cat hair on my desk here. But I built him a... the keycaps are GMK Metaverse. Which is like Persona 5 themed. Persona 5 is his like, favorite game. This guy's played Persona 5 like 3 times. Went and took apart every single switch. They're lubed Zelios. Shit felt like... I thought it was like pressing bubble wrap made out of chocolate. It's like very satisfyingly. I have the exact same keys in a different color on my board. Then they are not the exact same keys. That is what makes these GMK sets so special. I had to fucking hunt for these, dude. Because I missed, like, the group buy was like 2 years ago. And these got released like 3 months before I decided I was gonna go, oh, I'm gonna build this keyboard for my best friend. Woo! I managed to find it secondhand, day 2 after deciding it. And I love this form factor too. I believe this is 1800, I think is what they call this one. Where it's still got the numpad, still got the arrow keys. I think you only sacrifice 2 keys total versus a full size. And so he's like, oh my god, I have so much mouse space. He can still play War Thunder. He's a War Thunder boy too. He's got his numpads, and he does data entry too. However, I'm a pretty big fan of the left-handed separate numpad now. That's what I do. Just very proud of this board. Don't tell him how much it cost. Oh, UPS lost this shit, by the way. I insured this thing for $1,200. I sent them a screenshot of all the components that I needed, my work hour times that it would have taken to actually for me to whatever it's the lube the switches, to disassemble them, paint them, bag lube the springs, reassemble them. It took about 6 hours for the 100 fucking keys that are on a full-size keyboard. And the GMK Metaverse, you know, I had to buy that secondhand, so that was like $300. So I insured it for a lot of money, and then they lost it. I emailed the CEO. I went and Googled it. I was like, how do you find a lost UPS package? How do you find like an actually lost UPS package? Because I know they're not going to help me. That's not their objective. Their objective is not to help me. Their objective is to get me to give up. So what I did was called every single UPS store and access point in these 3 surrounding cities and asked. And then I found one that said, hey, we're CVS, and we've got a package that says it's got your friend's name on it, but it's also got a bunch of international shipping labels on it. I don't think this is your package. And it wasn't. 2 weeks later, I go, I'm gonna do the whole spiel again. I'm gonna do the whole thing again. And I landed back on that same access point, that same CVS, and went, if a package with my friend's name on it would have been held at that CVS access point, that means that that is his local access point. If it would be anywhere, it would be there. Called it again 2 weeks later. Yep, they found it. Same day, my UPS claim went through and they gave me $600 back. So I found the keyboard on my own, got it to my friend, and committed a little bit of mail fraud on the way. They didn't find it. They didn't find it. I found it. I had to call everyone. So the package insurance thing, that was me. You know, so genuinely, I think I deserve that $600. It's pretty cool. Thanks, UPS. Never shipping with you guys again. But now I have to. I'm either gonna take that 600 and I'm gonna start building the other friend who helped me out through August and September. I'm gonna either build him. Don't tell him. I'm gonna build him a fight stick. But I don't know anything about fight sticks. I just know that they're really complicated, but also like not at all. It's just like a lot of steps. You want like the Sanwa parts, and he likes a square gate. But the enclosure, I think, is actually like the most important part. I think for this sort of thing, because I want it to be comfortable for him and something that he can use and change and have fun with. I think that would be a good present. I love giving gifts. This was also the holiday season. I think I missed you guys throughout the entirety of the holiday season. But I'll have you know, the holiday season is my favorite time of year. Everything after October 31st. After October 31st, before January 2nd. It's great. I spent all that time reading, practicing, making art in Blender, trying to relearn 2D art because I found out pretty quickly that independent game development is a very multi-jurisdiction form of media creation, in that it requires so many disciplines. You need to be a musician, you need to be a sound designer, you need to be a programmer, you need to be an artist, you need to be a 3D artist, you need to be a 2D artist, you need to be a UX designer. You need all of these components, and you need to pull them together in some meaningful way. Now that sounds like an overwhelming and daunting task, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna bash my head against it until it breaks. And then I will move on to the next problem. I'm never giving up. Did you know that the Japanese have a single word verb to do your best? Ganbatte. Or ganbatte seru. And it's whatever the conjugation form for when you're describing a concept of a verb. Commonly used to express good luck. Commonly used to express sportsmanship. But took 3 years of Japanese. And never once did that settle in. We had used the word ganbate, ganbatseru, ganbari. We had used it, but I had not had the linguistic framework or the framework of knowledge of linguistics to understand why having one word to represent a concept that powerful means a lot. And it's why you see that theme so pervasive throughout Japanese media. Never giving up. And no matter how tough it gets, just keep going. So if you think that you have a dream out there, you ever gone, I wish there was a song that sounded like this mixed with that. Make it. Even if it sucks, man, just make it. It doesn't have to be good. Just make it. The getting good part, that happens when you make. Not when you sit there and you mull over it. Your first ideas are gonna suck. All of my first games are gonna suck ass, dude. But look at Scott Calhoun. Same year of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think he released like 30 other games. Fart Hotel. Anybody remember Fart Hotel? You need to make a couple Fart Hotels before you can make a Five Nights at Freddy's. Good is a relative concept? No. Not in this case. Because the act of creation, your first things will be bad. They will not reflect the idea that you have in your head. They will not be the image, the concept. They will not be what you want. Your skills will come up short. Your knowledge will come up short. You will make mistakes and you will fail. The ideas that you have are what matters. The craft, that will all be bad when it starts. It won't get across what you're trying to convey. But in that process of creating, you will also learn that you can convey other ideas in different ways by failing. It's the only way. You just gotta fuck up. You just gotta make it. You just gotta fuck up. That's kind of partially what I'm doing here by streaming today. I was like, am I gonna never stream again? Am I gonna just never make anything live and perform it again? No. I don't want to do that. Unless you are reincarnated Hitler, don't follow any of this motivation. What the fuck are you talking about? Just make something. How is make something and don't care about how good or bad it is, just make something a bad motivation? I think you might have more of a problem here than anyone else if you think, I don't think I should make things, actually. I should just read about the theory, about the process. No, I mean, like, if you are Hitler, don't make anything. What are you? This guy's Hitler. My team's Hitler on 4 computers and I'm on 1. Pizza? Are you hungry? What time is it? Is it feeding time for him? Almost. They got 15 more minutes. I want to talk about Hitler. What a stupid. Actually, Torque Dorkler, tactical snorkeler, the concept that I'm working on. There's a. You can't deny that Hitler exists as a very bizarre character in history. In that, growing up, Nazis, to me, were cartoon bad guys. Nazis were the guys that you mowed down in Wolfenstein. I mean, they're bad guys. They're cartoon bad guys. You gun them down, and you don't. That's what's important about them. So I want the villain of Torque Dorkler Tactical Snorkeler to be a shambling replicant Mecha Hitler who swears he's got nothing against Jews. But I mean, can you really take his word for it? I think that's a funny concept. I also love the phrase shambling replicant Mecha Hitler. Oh, remember that motivation you just said? Instead of remembering it, write it down. Declare bankruptcy on your memory. Use Obsidian and just write it down. If something strikes you, write it down. I like carrying a little notebook and a pen. Because I'm fucked up like that. I'm evil. Combined with Michael Jackson, you got a winning idea. Okay, now you're not making. You are Reddit commenting this, man. You fucking been on Reddit and somebody makes a pretty good joke, and then the guy under it just extends that joke again, and the guy under that extends the joke again, and the guy under that extends the joke again. And the second guy is already not funny. The first guy wasn't that funny. It's clever, but not funny. Happens to every joke on Reddit. Yeah, I think you need to take that part of your mind out. Don't iterate on other people's ideas. Make your own. It's Mystery Science Theater 3000 declining funny? I haven't watched Mystery Science Theater 3000 in a long time. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like the whole format of the Mystery Science Theater has just like gotten worse over time? Or do you mean that within a single episode, they just keep riffing on one another? Because I don't remember that. Maybe I just remember earlier works, like Manos, the Hands of Fate. Fishing for Karma, don't get that. I'm never on Reddit. I'm not on Reddit and not on Twitter. I use them just fucking to do whatever, my fucking job. I don't even use Reddit unless I'm adding it as like a tag whenever I have a tech problem. I go, why can't I get Arch Linux to work? FFmpeg. I need to FFmpeg. How to MKV to MP4 space Reddit. Okay, sweet. But now I just read the documentation. I don't need to read other people's opinions anymore. Oh, someone thinks about that the riffing is like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but they don't have the talent to carry it. Oh, okay. Somebody wanting to emulate that same sort of dialogue flow. It's like a cargo cult of comedy, quoting Monty Python incessantly. A one good Monty Python quote can... It's like a bullseye dart. If you whip one out that's like less known and nobody continues it, oh, that's fucking cinema right there. But I feel like most people will fall into the trap of just continuing to just quote the scene because that is a scene that I know. You're describing a scene that I am aware of, that I know, and I want you to know that I know what that is. I understood that reference. I hate reaction GIFs. I'm sorry. I'm a less hateful person now. Sorry to make my mic pop with that fucking S, but I hate a reaction GIF. Just type something. Just type something funny. Wow, that hits me like an arrow to the knee. Ooh, I think it's been long enough. Remind you, Skyrim was 13 years ago. I mean, no, it was also like 10 years ago, and 6 years ago, and 3 years ago. But it was 13 years ago at one point. And if you whipped out an arrow to the knee in the right context, you could do it. You could make that one work. I think it's been long enough. Do people still like play or care about Skyrim? Because I fucking hated it. I think if I went back and played it now, I wouldn't mind it. But I'd rather just play Morrowind or Oblivion. Bloodbox, thank you for 2 months. Hello. Hello. Skyrim is the only reason I'd want VR. Wow. Oh, no. No. Oh, what a headache that would be. How does locomotion work in that? The modding scene is massive. Yeah, but so is Oblivion's. Man. Oblivion mods. My beloved. Anyone who's played Morrowind intuitively understands how hollow Skyrim is as an experience outside of being a mod framework. I think that the game is just uninteresting. The environment is uninteresting. The aesthetic is uninteresting. I think I've never been a Lord of the Rings guy either. It's like Seinfeld. It's like Seinfeld and Earthbound. Everybody's done that better. You don't have to go back and play Earthbound. You can just play Undertale. Fucking Tolkien smoking his pipe. I wonder what I should name the bearded tree fellow. Hold on, can I get a good... That's a good sign. Who has done Seinfeld better than literally any other sitcom on the planet ever since Seinfeld? Except for, okay, I think the iconography of Seinfeld is funny in its own respect. The idea of the Kramer entrance is way funnier than Seinfeld ever makes it. But it's such a great tool. I think what Seinfeld does is instead establishes a language for sitcoms rather than actually telling a story with it. Or story, replace that with joke. Jerry sucks shit, but everyone else wrongs. AI Seinfeld did it better. You're literally describing the Seinfeld isn't funny trope. Yeah. It's just how I feel about it. I think that's how a lot of people feel about it. Some of it's funny. I like George. I think George is more funny than... I think he's the funniest character. I watched like 3 episodes of Seinfeld. That's all I've ever watched now. Remember, I used to say I've never watched a single episode of Seinfeld. That's not true anymore. What's the name of the guy who just beat up Elmo? Larry David? Is a sitcom just a show with a laugh track? No. No. Yeah, Always Sunny's a sitcom that don't got a laugh track. If you put a laugh track on Arcane, does that make it a sitcom? No. God, Fascinating. I'm gonna make myself some more tea. I'm also not going to stream nearly as long as I used to. I'd come to this discovery when I was out and about. I was hanging out with I don't want to say his name because I don't want him to get in trouble for just knowing me. That sucks, but what are you gonna do? I was at somebody else's place, and they had brought their friend over, their streamer friend. Kid's 19. He's got like fucking 300,000 followers on each platform. He pulls 1,000-something viewers a stream. And he had an idea. He showed me his schedule that he built in Google Calendar. It's like, this is the stream I'm gonna do for this day, and these are the 3 I'm gonna do this. And then for this YouTube video, I wrote a song. And I was just fucking mesmerized. This guy was, at that point, 4 years younger than me, but had accomplished in the same or similar space so much more than I ever did. And I asked myself, why is that? I said, did you ever read The Artist's Way? This is the fucking guy that got me on the idea of reading books might be cool, actually. He says, well, I don't know if you're religious, but I was raised religious, and The Artist's Way is a book about reframing a religious or spiritual mindset into a creative one. And that was eye-opening, right? See somebody who's like way younger than you and wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to take on the world and just doing it. It was inspiring. Doing that and playing Yakuza 6 or Yakuza 7 with my friends. Message of Yakuza 7, whereas Yakuza 0 is about what it means to be a man and what it means to be family. Yakuza 6 or Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, is about what it is to be a friend. It's about being positive to the people around you. Well, that's a theme that exists in each Yakuza entry. Another big theme is it's never too late to do something great. Ichiban Kasuga is 42 years old, just got out of prison, wasted 19 years of his life for a crime he didn't commit. And the first thing he does is go out there with a smile on his face, ready to take on this new world for him. What they give up to achieve that success? I don't know. I don't know him that well. I just know that he seemed happy and like he was having a great time. Bro probably had such a nice childhood. I don't think that's something that you can really assume about somebody just by their creative works. Look at Jim Carrey. Like, Jim Carrey's a fantastic performer and brilliant and really successful. Google his fucking childhood, dude. Jesus. I mean, that's how artists like that can come to exist. I think when I eventually develop my own artist's idiom, my own language, Jim doesn't seem very happy either. Oh, he's not. But I think he's okay with that. Just from what I've seen through interviews, I've never met the man. Fascinating individual, though. The only reason I've ever done a lot of research into him is because I've been compared to him, at least in the expressions that we make. I don't think we have any overlap as far as upbringing or performant characteristics. I think we can just make similarly funny faces. We like making similarly funny faces. That kid, 19 years old, crushing it, reading books, making videos, streaming, making people laugh. He taught me that. I was like, how long do you stream per day? Because he had a schedule that was fucking packed. He said, oh, like 2 hours. Oh. I thought you had to do it for like 6 hours minimum. I thought that's how you did it. You went, why would you do that? He goes, when do you think you run out of ideas for the stream? And he goes, I always said, about 3 hours. He goes, oh, cool. End the stream then. Only come in when you have a good idea, and then leave when you finished it. I was like, that's a freeing mindset. No wonder he could do so well for himself. Because there's this sort of idea and this culture around internet content creation that you must have a powerful throughput that does both quantity and quality all the time if you want to be successful. And that is just not true. If that were the case, Weird Al wouldn't exist. Weird Al makes quality. Does not make quantity. But every once in a while, you see Weird Al show up in something, make a new video, make a funny joke. Every time Weird Al's jokes are, they're so good. But it's not about the grind. It's not about the process. It's not about that. Alan Resnick has a fantastic video that I recommend that you watch called What Codec Should I Use? And I've used this phrase a lot now personally when I'm discussing art with my friends and with those that are really meaningful and important to me. I say it doesn't matter what codec you use, just make a good video. Because think about it, for like fucking 2 seconds. People obsess over the technicality of the craft. They buy the right pen, they buy the right paper, they practice every day. But you bite into that and that thing is just fucking hollow on the inside. It doesn't matter what codec you use. It just matters that you go out there and you make something. I hope you're able to take that lesson. I'm gonna make that tea, take a piss. I suggest everybody stands up, does some stretches. Everybody stand up, do your stretches. Are you standing up? I'm waiting. Spark a J. I'm kind of jealous. Oh, I got a piss too. So good night, morning scum. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my tea here. Oh man, do I have any weed? I wish I had some weed. But it's so much better for me to not have it. I get so little done when I'm high. Just take a big bite out of an apple like this. Love a funny sound effect. Napple, 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 napple. Joy of fruit. Is it raining cats and dogs? Yeah, it's raining over there. Eventually I want to have a weird little pseudo setup I can do in my living room so that you'd be able to see that. Man, I've started turning off extension or putting on these extensions for like Twitter and for this, so that I don't see my viewers. I don't see how many likes things get. I don't see how many retweets things get. Don't see how many comments things get. I have to scroll through to read the comments. It's fucking great. Everybody do that. Why is that not like an option by default on everything ever? You know what I mean? I just realized I've had my whole setup like I'm rule of thirds over here, but I'm facing this direction. I think it'd be more pleasant if I faced this one. But the screen's over there, so. You want blue sky? No. How the hell would I do that? Is on GitHub? I've been spending more time on GitHub than fucking Twitter lately. Which is better. Toss away this apple. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna attempt to scrounge up the last Newgrounds forums. Now, fuck the Newgrounds forums. Fuck Newgrounds. They're taking like an anti-porn stance. Oh my god, when's the last time you heard this? That bass line. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. The red spy has entered the base. I think nobody's ever gonna do it like TF2, dude. TF2 came at the right time, with the right aesthetic, with the right gameplay. Though, can you ever capture that again? I think what... I think what really separates Team Fortress 2 from the rest of the video game landscape is really the place that it holds in video game culture. You can't play Overwatch without hearing somebody compare it to TF2. You can't play any modern first-person shooter with a class-based system without comparing it to Team Fortress 2. COD? What world are you fucking living in? Who are you, man? I'm okay, hold on. Not to judge you for your media tastes, but I've found that Call of Duty kind of appeals to somebody who wants to get in, wiggle their thumbs a little bit, and get out without any interaction, with the exception of bullets. Your verb in Call of Duty is shoot. I think the culture of Team Fortress 2's voice chat and server structure was much more conducive to a community than anything that a modern game dev would ever do now. Gundam Evolution was Overwatch with mobile suits. Yeah, and didn't everybody hate that? I thought that was like universally panned as being derivative and all of the worst parts of Overwatch and none of the cool parts of Gundam, because they neglected to give any of the robots weight and feeling. Instead, you feel like you're playing action figures. They feel like master grade scale and not like machine scale. I thought this was the opening to fucking Mos Eisley Cantina. What's the name of the band in the Mos Eisley Cantina? Who in the Mos Eisley Cantina? Does anybody remember the name of the band in the Mos Eisley Cantina? Three people just went, or two people just went Max Rebo. Max Rebo does not play in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Max Rebo plays in Jabba's Palace. Max Rebo, does Max Rebo at any point play in Mos Eisley? It's the three guys with the big heads and the big eyes and the. What is the name of the band? This is a trivia question for the ages. I have a fucking VPN turned on, and Google has just made it so that every time you do anything ever, you have to answer a caption now. It's Figrin Dan and the modal nodes. It's Figrin Dan and the modal nodes. Ooh, okay, hold on. It's an ensemble of Bith musicians. They're known for their swinging instrumentals and their water and hole in the water and holes staggering patrons. Fiery Figrin Dan playing the clue horn, though some patrons preferred his work on the Gassan string drum. Other members of the modal nodes were Nayland Cheel playing the banfill, Doik Knotts, who's playing a Durenian Bashnikel, Ted Defy, who's playing the fanfare, of course. Tech Moore, everybody remembers Tech Moore, especially his work with Genesis on The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. He's playing on the Omnibox. Ichabel Gaunt, he's on the double Jossamer. And Suniel Eid, he's on a drum set. Speaking of fucking Star Wars, any of you guys watched Andor? No. In before you guys go, Andor? What, you watched Star Wars Disney Plus
shows. What are you talking about, dude? You have your media taste is slime compared to mine. Okay, I only watch Baby Driver on repeat.
Andor. Woo! It was phenomenal. I know I binged it in like 3 days, but like the message of Andor. The message of Andor is it's good to kill cops, and you should. How'd that get on Disney Plus? I am confident in my personal headcanon that Tony Gilroy, its director, was just given fucking full creative freedom because Mandalorian Season 3, I don't know if you've watched any of it, is comically bad. They reduce every character into a series of marketable icons, and their actions are all motivated entirely by being plot devices. Like, Bo-Katan is no longer the militaristic, we need to pull our people together commander that she was. Now she is a princess who wishes that she still ruled Mandalore. The Darksaber as a symbol doesn't mean anything, and that's not even like the theme of like the show. I watched the first episode with my friend up in the Pacific Northwest with my friends, and then we watched the last episode because they were like, you need to watch the last one too, in which Moff Gideon, he's back. Giancarlo Esposito's character from season 1, you know, the one that died in the big explosion. He's back, and he's making an evil army of clones of him who have the Force. This is all brought up all in the last episode. And they are on screen for 20 seconds for one shot of like they're in like the back to tank things, and they do like the eye open shot, you know. And then Mr. Mandalorian goes over, presses 3 buttons, and then the tanks explode and they're all dying. That threat that existed right there, only in that episode, was immediately gone in like 6 minutes. Baby Yoda literally pilots around the corpse of a beloved character of IG-11. Remember IG-11 from season 1? How, you know, he had that really meaningful moment where he, as an assassin droid, chose to protect something instead of kill it, and sacrificed himself. And the relationship that Din Djarin, our Mandalorian, had with droids completely changed, being that's droids took his family from him. Droids burned his homeworld. But here is one as a living, breathing thing, essentially, sacrificing himself for him. They bring him back by having Baby Yoda pilot him in a little mech thing. This happens. I'm not fucking pulling this out of my ass. This all happens. I gotta put on another playlist. Low poly breaks. Literally piloting the corpse of a character that meant something at one point. And then the John Mandalorian goes, I'm gonna fight you, and then he fights Moff Gideon, who has his own cool is in quotes, Mandalorian outfit, because he lost to the Mandalorian, so obviously he's got to put on all the Mandalorian gear. But they gave them like the Maul spikes, but it's like those were supposed to be like, those are loyalists. That's like the symbolism of the spikes. They just put the spikes on his helmet because they looked cool. It would sell a Star Wars series black 6-inch figure with a 2-pack that includes C-3PO. That's a great joke for all you toy collector fans out there. Anybody tried to buy Star Wars? Hasbro did like a 6-inch series super battle droid that looks fucking phenomenal. And they released it as a toy, like a fucking US exclusive 2-pack that includes a broken, disgusting C-3PO from like episode 6 or whatever. So the army builder toy, you know, the good one, you have to buy it in this 2-pack with this thing that you don't want to buy, and no one wants to buy. Because rule of cool, running Star Wars since 1977, absolutely not the case. Rule of cool is a fantastic device for telling a story and for establishing cool dynamics and making things that are visually interesting and making things that are appealing and engaging. Star Wars does not abide by the rule of cool. Star Wars abides by market demographics, and they abide by a studio exec literally sitting around in a big evil table. There are scenes in Andor where I swear to God, that is what they are parodying Disney. This shit is laughably, horribly bad. I don't recommend you watch it though. Boba Fett, terrible. Who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a fuck about the Boba Fett show. Obi-Wan, I heard that was terrible. I didn't watch it. And Lost went, you watch Andor yet? And I was like, no. What? Why would I watch Andor? Every other Star Wars thing has sucked since Clone Wars Season 7 and Mandalorian Season 1. Why would I watch any of that? And she goes, dude, trust me. Andor. It is Blade Runner meets political espionage, and it's got this meaningful commentary about the way fascism both arises and the way fascism can be deconstructed. The performance, what's the guy who plays Cassian Andor? Him. I didn't give a fuck. I hated Rogue One. I didn't like it. I didn't care about this character. This character sucks. He's Guy. His performance is fucking phenomenal. He made me care about this schmuck. The music. John Williams moved the fuck over. It is phenomenal. I now understood. It's got Stellan Skarsgård and Fiona Shaw and Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis plays a phenomenal character named Kino Loy. I adore his character, and I watched an interview about his performance in that, and where he pulled that from, and they gave him a draft document, a character document, you know, a dossier for here's who you are, here's who you're playing, here, you know, that's pretty standard fare for the sort of production that's going on. And they had Andy Serkis's character. If you have watched the show, the reason why he is where he is because he tried to start a union. So if you have seen it, it recontextualizes his entire character. That's a detail that they just don't put in. But it's so great, and it makes so much sense when you go back and you watch it. Who did the score? I don't know. I think it's a little all over the place. But it is worth a watch. It is more than worth a watch. It is the only good Star Wars. Because all it does is use the aesthetic and iconography that Star Wars has taken the past 50 years to develop to tell a good story. Think about that, right? Maybe ask where you were streaming from? No, go fuck yourself. Let me find out who the composer is, because there's tracks. I remember. I've gone to listen to more of the tracks. I went like, dude, what was that one in? Do you see? I see episode 2 at the end of the thing. I need to hear that again, because they whipped them fuck out, dude. There is all of these wonderful, cool, orchestral, beautiful, John Williams inspired sounds, especially towards the beginning, and when they're establishing worlds that you already know. But they switch sort of the soundscapes palette over to things that are more electronic, more artificial. I think they're in the first episode on the planet Morlana 1, Cassian Andor finds himself walking through a club. And I love a club scene in science fiction media because you always get to hear what a composer thinks music from a future and a different galaxy sounds like. And it's... There's, at the end of a real dramatic moment, at the end of episode 2, they've got this big building score that's this crescendo sort of to build tension as Cassian sort of makes some realizations about the world and about himself. And it's building up this soundscape. I'm just gonna play this. I don't give a fuck. Disney, come after me. Just animated or live action? It's live action. It's phenomenal. Every performance is great. There are like quotes in that I fucking remember. I've made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. Oh! Fucking wicked. I really, really do highly recommend Andor. And the sets are fucking brilliant. The sets feel real. They take the aesthetic of 1977 Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and they extrapolate. They go, from this point, where do we go? From this point, because this is the world that is established. It's 1977's A New Hope. What does this world actually look like? Use the symbol of a real stormtrooper. We're not gonna make up our own. We're not gonna make up our own cool bad guy to sell toys. We're going to use stormtroopers. But how do we get... I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Same scene. It's fucking phenomenal. Luthen Rail is this fantastic sort of revolutionary character that understands that he's... Do we start Andor or Yakuza 0 tonight? I would start Andor at night, and I would play Yakuza during the day. Because Yakuza is a long game. It's like 200 hours for me. Andor, very, very good. But it's like 10 episodes, 45 minutes long each. You don't have to binge it. Don't binge it. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. One at a time. One thing I dislike from the recent Star Wars content is the colorimetry. Works great for great big blocks like ships or skyscrapers on Coruscant under clouds, but colors lost a lot of intensity. On Tatooine and Obi-Wan is the same as where Anakin and Luke grew. It's not even the same sand. Ooh, dude. Ooh. Andor's got a color palette. Andor's got aesthetic. They've got it nailed down. They let the Empire look like the cartoonishly evil space Nazis that they are, and they fill out all of the world with corpos who work, who have contracts with the galactic government. Everything you need to know about Andor comes from the establishing shot, the digital sort of establishing shot of a planet, and that's a pretty common thing in science fiction, right? We're going to Tatooine. Let's have a shot of the planet so you get an idea of what it looks like. Oh, it's all sand. Oh, this place is shit. For Coruscant, they show you the planet, which has got these beautiful city lights all over it. It's speckled and glowing and emissive and brilliant. And the bottom right, they say, bottom left, Coruscant, capital of the galaxy. When have you ever heard Coruscant be referred to as the capital of the galaxy? It's true when you think about it. Yeah, it always has been. Coruscant has always been the capital of the galaxy. But when did they ever call it that? As far as I know, maybe once or twice in a load screen in Battlefront 2. It's good, dude. Andor's good. All the sets feel real. There's a fantastic character. I'm not gonna tell you his first name because it's kind of a spoiler to know his first name. But he's Deputy Inspector Karn, who absolutely pulls a lot of his performance from Kyle MacLachlan's Agent Dale Cooper in Twin Peaks. It's so great. I adore Andor. It's so good. Please, I beg of you. Have you read the Thrawn novels? No, I'm not interested in extended universe fiction. And I've heard that all of Thrawn's the work around Grand Admiral Thrawn is particularly good and interesting. Not just like the earlier stuff, but the more latest. But I've got too many things on my to be read list. I've got to read Young. I've got to play Alan Wake, and I've got to read Young. Those ones feel a little bit more like homework. There's Grand Admiral Thrawn Sigma Mail videos. That's good. That's a good concept. I like that a lot. Sorry, I've just got Figure and Dan and the modal nodes on the other screen here, just staring at me with their big old Biff eyes. Thank you for joining, Jiggy. Pleasure to have you here. Hard recommend. I don't think I can sell it on you guys enough. I think you guys are still like, I don't care. Or like, oh yeah, sure, I'll watch it. No, you won't. I mean it. Give it a shot. Just one episode. Just one episode of Andor. Just so that you can get like the feeling, right? You don't have to finish this shit. I think there's a lot of animosity towards larger works of media because of how fucking just sniped our attention spans have been since TikTok. But I am here to remind you that you don't need to finish things. No, you need to finish the things that you make. You don't need to finish the things that you're consuming, things that you're watching. Probably be best, but... Was there a project in the first part of the 2010 Star Wars Underworld, if I remember what? I remember Deck 1313. Deck 1313 kind of rounded off parts of Star Wars that I wanted. I was like, I want cool stories in this world. The idea of this like leveled city planet that just goes deeper and deeper and deeper, where quite literally the elites live on the top and everyone else fends out for themselves on the bottom. And there's... you're saying you can't do anything interesting with that? And with droids? If you can't tell an interesting story on Coruscant with droids, you don't deserve to write science fiction. It's like you're set up for the best Blade Runner homages that could ever be made. Right? Isn't that basically Alita Battle Angel as well? I have not personally read Alita Battle Angel. But I have seen the film. And I did like it. I didn't understand. There were a lot of people would find Alita's kind of bug-eyed CG thing uncanny. I thought she was cute, but I think I might be in the minority there because I'm not a sex doll, man. The uncanny doesn't bother me. Maybe it's because it probably feels more relatable to me. I don't feel exactly human. Not in a literal sense, but more in a figurative sense. I feel like I miss out on some critical experience, some magic sauce that makes it so that everything else would click. It's autism. That's what it is. Andor. I want to listen to that track. What the fuck? The only problem I have with Andor is that because the score was specifically made for the show, it's kind of each piece is very short and very individual, and also titled based off of what was going on in the show at that time. And it's like, I don't know. I now that I think about it, I was gonna name. I was like, John Williams' score kind of has the benefit of having more memorable names, but then I was gonna list off Binary Sunset as if that's not what they played when we saw the Binary Sunset. So that's not the best example. What type of tea? This is Amaretto Orange Blossom Black tea. It's pretty good. Got a little orange blossom honey in there too. I like an orange. I like an orange. I like an orange. I love me an orange. Ah. What's up, been a minute? It has been a minute. I've kind of had a I've had a moment. I've had a time in the last 6 months or so. 6 months, 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, 4 months, 4 months, 5 months, 5 months. Does the art of acting come from the Greek or the Romans? It comes from the soul. Shit-eating grin right after that. I love saying odd, poetic shit now. That's my favorite fucking thing to do. Ever since I played Nier Replicant, I love some odd, poetic shit. Nothing too badly. Photonic. Did you not hear? I bought a pair of shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what they were laced with, but I've been tripping all day. Can I ask you to swear to me, please? Just got here? No, I mean like anything about me in the past like 5 months at all. How many viewers do I got? This is like the one time I'm gonna check. I actually don't know how to check ever since I disabled it. 128! Oh. I got pedophile allegations. Ones that are pretty bullshit, pulled out of people's asses, and largely extrapolated from the same posts that were the people that saying that like Natalie Mars groomed me. You know, all those posts that don't even get my age right. Of course, some people take that and they full sprint with that because like I had a picture with fucking with Chris Chris Tyson of Mr. Beast, who I love. They're great. They're phenomenal. She's what a gem. She taught me so much. Man. She's just a heart of gold. And but because I have a photo with somebody who's adjacent to the quote largest children's content creator on the planet, the story of
Pedophile porn star works for Mr. Beast?
is far more interesting than any reality. And so that was kind of impressed upon me by the greater digital scape. Mainly by people who don't know who I am or what I do or what they were even talking about. Rather, they used me as a tool to take a really dark story about somebody who was in the Gooner community, fucking Giggly Goon Clown. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Get that clip in. And who I had followed for their weird captions, because I'm a weird guy. I like weird cartoons. But of course, weird cartoons and this person who's actually pretty despicable, and I'm in the same server as them, you know, people are going to start drawing connections where there aren't any, because if you can connect this really dark story about a really terrible person in this community to Mr. Beast, if you can draw that line, buddy, you've got clickbait going. Buddy, you've got a reason for somebody to click your video. Pedophile porn star in cahoots with Mr. Beast is the easiest fucking click farm on the planet. And so, kind of consequently, nobody really cared about me. I was just part of the thread. That's all I really was. There's no research done into who I am or what I do or what I make or what I said or my relationship with this person. Instead, it's like the same people who are taking shots at Chris, same people who are taking shots at Finn. Hell, now they just take shots at those people for knowing me, which I have to say, that did kind of tell me where my friends are and where they aren't. Because, yeah, I'm a porn star. I'm not exactly good for a brand, right? I'm not exactly great. But I went from not being good for your brand to brand poison overnight. You were even, in my replies, if you followed me, you were a target for the Kiwi Farms times. Which is upsetting, because it meant that a lot of people stopped talking to me. A lot of people that I thought were cool with me, but were instead leveraging the fact that I was popular, or leveraging the fact that I was successful to sort of benefit themselves, instead of creating a genuine connection with me. What a blessing. To have that Band-Aid ripped off all in one. I'll tell you what, as sad and as weird to say out loud it is, the pedophile allegations are one of the best things to happen to me. Because they made me, I don't know, stand up and look at the computer in a completely different way. People turn it into this sort of digital life that doesn't just extend their own. The principle of active externalism describes how your brain is more than just the things and thoughts that exist within it, but rather is your fingers for counting and or notes that you write down. I think people had turned their entire online identity into themselves and assumed that that was the case for everyone else. Don't clip that, I don't care. People are gonna take shit out of context that I say no matter what. But who cares? I don't have control over that. Well, you lost some bad apples. You still have friends with you, who are you have bond. I know where my friends are now. You're right. it's and like Finn stuck it out with me. He was like, yeah, I get it. This isn't even a way for people to be mad at you. This is a way for people to be mad at everything. I had read the original post, the one calling me out. It ends with the conclusion that because Mr. Beast has an agent at Night Media who is owned by Disney, who's owned by the Rothschilds, that I am a Jewish porn industry plant meant to end white masculinity. Whatever the fuck that means. All of this at once? Yes. All this at once while I got surgery. And didn't recover well. And there's other personal stuff. I got a lot. I had a lot of shit happen that week, and it made me really realize that I'm gonna play video games. It made me go and play video games. It made me go and play Monster Hunter Rise. It made me go and play Monster Hunter World. It made me realize my love for silly, over-the-top, but sincere and real and honest Japanese media that I hadn't had since I was like, just before my dad died, man. Because it was my dad that showed me all that shit. It was my dad who taught me how to pirate software. It was my dad who, you know, made me into who I am at that time. And after he was gone, I sort of lost that. I didn't really know what I was missing until I sat there and I played like 500 hours of Japanese video games over the course of 3 months. And man, I'm excited to be a game dev now. I'm excited for all my shit to suck, and I'm excited for you guys to play it. I've been considering doing game dev streams. I don't know how I would do that. I think I'd do it without a face cam. I think I'd do it real quiet, real soft like this. And there'd be a lot of mood board making. There'd be a lot of aesthetic. There'd be a lot of me tossing a tennis ball to you guys and hoping you toss it back. I think that could be fun. And I've seen that Pirate Software really, who I had to have met at some point in my life, which is fascinating that all of these... I'm gonna make a comment here. Does anyone else feel like it was their brain that got splattered all over the internet? I was watching Germa when I was 11. I was watching Critical when he was still Penguin Zero doing Toho gameplay and commentary. I was watching Speed Racer and other anime from the 60s when I was a kid. I had a hand-me-down Nintendo 64, dude. I didn't have an Xbox. And I can't help but feel like gooning? I understand that it's a great joke, gooning. But like, that was like my whole identity on the internet, like for a while. And now it's just all over. I've heard people joke about it on TikTok, and I feel partially responsible for that. And like when fucking Chris O'Neill or fucking Zach said like Foghorn Leghorn gooning and Oni plays, it blew my fucking mind. And but I remember that Spaz Kid Corey follows me. All these artists that I really love, I've had the opportunity to meet and interact with. How many people get to do that? There's a picture out there of me and Germa. I'm not showing it to anyone. I'm never posting it. That's for me. And I don't want him to have to take any flack for just being in a photo with me. The life of the Yakuza is being punished for other people's crimes. Hold on. There's a lot of characters in Yakuza that go to jail for things that they didn't do. And everybody builds this image of them in their head of the disgusting, despicable criminal that you are. But all they are is good people, hearts of gold, who take that burden upon themselves to protect others. So I don't know. It's hard to not play Yakuza and see characters that get that same deal of having it's gonna be really random, but this is Kira, just the one from school. I just want to say how proud of you I am. Hearing you talk about all the serious shit tonight reminded me of what a wonderful human you are. I was so proud to be your friend back then. Sorry for the random and oddly weird message, but hearing you talk about your dad made me want to tell you that I'm still proud of you. Great timing with Sad 1, I'll tell you that. Thank you, Kira. Means a lot. I was actually I've been writing a letter in Japanese to my old Japanese teacher in high school, Tanaka Sensei, and it was right after my dad died. She knew that I was good at swimming and I liked swimming. And she said, I insist, I need to talk to the swim coach to get you on the team. I know the tryouts are gone, but I want to do this for you. And I said no, but I did never forget that. That somebody reached out like that and said, I can help. And if you need it, I'm here for you. She taught me to never give up. Music in Yakuza. The way you hear his fingers slide across every fret. Oh, chills. There's this melancholy, this sadness, but with this bridge, you know that no matter how tough it gets, so long as you keep your head up, keep your chin up, and you never give up, you can get through anything. From now on, I live by my convictions and no one else's. Sorry for the 4 minutes of really dramatic, that Chinese beaver type speech. I love that video. I adore that video. It's got so much emotion to it. Still got the gift of good timing. Brother, that's what all my games are gonna be about. I can't wait. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil any of the really, really good ideas. Because the really, really good ideas I'm gonna need help. But I mean, if there's anyone who could fucking pull a team of weird game devs out of their ass, probably me. I could probably do that. Right? We can do something in the Discord for your game dev? I don't know. Because currently I have a separate Discord for it. Not channel, but just like account. And a separate Twitter and a separate everything, really. I've just decided that that's probably the best way to do it. I'm not gonna bother to hide it. Like if somebody discovers that it's me, I'm not gonna care. But I think it's important to me that I do it this way. First, that I make the first things without any external encouragement, so to speak. Not encouragement. I want to find a better word to say that. I would like my work to at least initially be judged by its own merit and not by the merit of it came from me, porn star John Hollywood, or that it came from me, Jean-Luc. Can we narrate your game? No. I'm sorry. But I can't let anybody else's creative vision interfere. This shit's gonna suck. And it needs to suck. Although I keep starting off with like really lame ideas, going, okay, I want to do a top-down twin stick. That's what I started with. I started with like a top-down twin stick. Replayed Hotline Miami. Played Hong Kong Massacre. Went and just like did some research, wrote some things down about like how the games feel, what makes them good, what makes them interesting, what keeps the visuals intact, what feels like polish, what feels like it could be better. But as I iterate on every single one of these initially bad ideas, I find that very quickly my ideas outpace my ability to craft them. Because I turned what should be like a top-down easy twin stick into like a piece about what it feels like to be a sex worker. You see that Hong Kong Massacre homage in John Wick 4? I've only ever watched the first one. I've only ever watched John Wick 1. I'm not really interested in the rest of the films. I feel like I got my fill with 1, right? I feel like I'm more for the concept than elaboration. Cinematography in John Wick 4 is good. Okay, sweet. I should probably check it out, but yeah, okay, fine. You guys win. I'll put it on the to-be watch list. John Wick parts 2, 3, and 4. That wasn't lined up properly. It's Control-Shift-F, I think, for search. Control-Shift-F, and then I type to be watched. No, fuck, I forgot. I started saying TBE. To be experienced. He has a flamethrower shotgun and it's all top down. That rocks, actually. John Wick. 2, 3, 4. Man, I've got a lot up here. High and low. by Akira Kurosawa is the next one. I still haven't seen it. Tokyo Story by Yasujiro Ozu. Late Spring by the same. Stalker, the adaptation of Roadside Picnic. Fallen Angels, still haven't seen it. Everything from Hideo Kojima's Criterion Collection picks. Which I'll have you know. I watch all the Criterion Collection picks because I love knowing what an artist thinks, what they would pick out of that, right? But Onibaba came up, and he says, "Oh, this is the first thing that Guillermo del Toro and I talked about. It's Onibaba, 1964. That film. I also very much remember it. It is the first film that Willem Dafoe picks in his Criterion Collection when he goes, Onibaba. He does that. He does that exact. He goes, Onibaba. I watched it, and that movie sucked. However, 1964. Okay, cinematic language still hasn't really developed, right? We're in the 60s, right? Star Wars is 77. There's a lot of the same scene over and over again. Hey, Wiggin, what's going on with the 20 months? We're talking about Onibaba. We shared the same sentiment, me and Megan, where we noted the way that Willem Dafoe takes out Onibaba from there. The movie sucked. I full of cool shots though. There's lots of like cool focus racks and lots of like light going across some of the eyes as they like turn, and lots of light peering through the thatched roofs of the glass or the grass huts that these poor Japanese people during the shogunate live in. But it's a little rapey. I don't like it. A little bit less so than other films of its era. But it does. There is something about it. And there's a lot of just Japanese women's boobs in it. Which I guess is that was like a redeeming quality for me. Lots of cool shots of like light on things, and lots of Japanese women with their tits out. And then it's like the same like 6 scenes over and over again, and then the movie, like the actual plot of the movie, all occurs in like the last 6 minutes. But everything in that 6 minutes is pretty cool. But I mean, it was Lost, Eve, and I all sitting on the couch, blazed as fuck. They had this volcano weed device. You ever seen a volcano? It's this fascinating little device that you it looks like a fucking Instant Pot, and you get these bags that fill up with the smoke, or you can do like there's like a hookah attachment. We were doing that. The bags are fun, but however, they have one critical issue, and that critical issue is that once you've done smoking out of the bag, it just like slowly deflates and like crinkles. And if you're doing anything at all, it drives me mad. It makes me want to fucking scream. The slow. Let me see if I can find something that would be good to. There's like a fruit snack bag in here. I was gonna find like a fruit snack bag to like. Drives me nuts. So anyway, we used the like the hookah attachment more often, and that was great. And I want one so bad, but man, I would go through so much more weed. I don't think I can get myself one. That'd be fucked up. I'm also out of weed. Are you too skeepy to play? No, you do want to play. Normally she gets so into it. Alright, well. You didn't know I had a new cat? Yeah, we talked a little bit about it, about the story of Skeech right here. Fascinating little creature. I adore her. Yeah. Dude, what a joy, right? Although eventually Skeech is gonna move and Persephone's gonna get upset. She's like, no, I'm not done. This is what happens every time. I'm scraping up the last little bit of fucking weed. I'm fiending. I should have just gone to the fucking dispensary today. But it's late. I now only allow myself to smoke after 5 p.m. It's like, is it the Puffco hot knife thing? Yes. Trying to get this little... You can see that it's not, like, perfectly smooth. Can I move this out of the way? No. I'm gonna have to... Maybe if I just move this backward. I want to get more of the cat in frame. First time catching a stream, you seem like a cool and fun person from the clips and all I've seen on YouTube. But now I'd like to say that on top of that, you're an interesting and good person too. I love the ambiance here. I'm glad you're able to come to that conclusion. Thank you very much for joining. It means a lot. Buy 100 pounds of flour. I'll likely go get a shit ton of Jack Herer or something. That's what I smoked when I was up there in the Pacific. I spent the holidays In case you're wondering why I keep mentioning it. I spent the holidays up in Tacoma, Washington area with my dear friend Loss and her girlfriend Eve. Loss I've talked about before. Hell, Loss has probably been on stream ages upon ages ago. It's been a hot minute since we've lived together, but I think Eve does a much better job of taking care of Loss than I do. I'll tell you that. So Eve is trans. Have you ever met a trans person with zero executive dysfunction? None. They just get out of bed every morning at the right time. They cook dinner for themselves and for others every day. They keep they clean their bed sheets. They fold their laundry. Fascinating. I feel like so often I had met trans people that, for lack of a better term, do not have their shit together. It's part of being trans. Right? Part of it is that you're a tortured soul. You exist in a world that is antagonistic to you. Discord link doesn't work. I'll fix that. I'll fix the Nightbot later. It's discord.gg/sodazone. Somebody, I'll type it. Oops, wrong thing. I got scared. I think that should work. All right, I think this is all I can get out of this thing, man. That's what I've got. Or do I? This one might have more. No, I think this one has less. I am fiending. I think I'm only gonna go until this fucking wears off, and then I'll likely go play some games with Wiganer, just hang out and vibe. I would like to stream my game, Deb. I think that could be fun. And it would be a good way to, for when I eventually, inevitably release games, have people know, who are in the know that it was me that made them, and not, but still have people evaluate it on its own regard without knowing who I am. That's the more important to me aspect, is that my work is evaluated independently of the artist. Man, it does not want to autofocus when I turn to the side. I think it's because it loses track of my eye because of my glasses.
I can't see without my glasses. My glasses. Aliens!
Fiending for the scraps, but ooh, kind of a smoky. You want to talk about media that changed my fucking life in the last 5 months? Nirvana, the band, the show. Have you guys ever watched it? Like, actually? Like, I've seen clips. I was aware of Matt Johnson as an artist. I'd seen the 2007 to 2009 web series back when it was coming the fuck out. Matt Johnson, the creator, the creative voice behind the project, I'm making you wait here. I'm building up suspense. Because now you don't know how many times I'm going to talk about the thing that I just brought up, or how many times I'm just going to go back to this. This is the shit the ISB smoking on Coruscant, I'll tell you what. We smoking the shit that broke Huey's legs. Walking upright got me dizzy. Sahelanthropist the way I'm packing nuke. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm very proud of that line. Nirvana the band. Nirvana the band, the show. A very important piece of media to me, because it is just full of copyright infringement. It is just an unabashed, uncensored love letter to all of media, to all of video games, to all of movies, to all of comic books, to just everything that's ever been made. And it takes it and remixes it, and plugs things in where they shouldn't go, and the humor is fucking phenomenal in that it Matt Johnson, the creative voice behind the project, is from Toronto, Canada. And it is a very Canadian show in that, like Nathan Fielder, who's also a Canadian, they love riding the line between what is simulation and what is completely organic material. I'm going to point a camera at this environment, and I'm going to have some elements of it be completely scripted, but allow whatever happens in this event to become a part of the greater story. And that gives you a lot of interesting freedom as a creator, because now you get to write the story as you go along. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right? Where you get to do this improv dance between here's things that we're completely making up as we go along, and here's things that we really worked hard on a long time ago. Nirvana the band, the show does that, but whereas Nathan Fielder's Nathan For You focuses on the way that could be awkward and uncomfortable and make you hate things and make you want to stop watching. Fascinating skill that is. Nirvana the band, the show feels like it's polar opposite. Like it's trying to give you this message of everybody out there's a fucking person. They're people. And let's just have some fucking fun. Can I show Nirvana the band, the show on stream? I can. Who's gonna stop me? It's not like they would. They put it for free up on the Internet Archive. The whole point is they want you to just put it out there and let it be fucking free. I would like to just. I can't show the first episode because there's some things that would be that would need to be censored for Twitch and for YouTube. But instead, like the first. Ooh. Just up until the intro. Maybe we'll do that. It's all free on the Internet Archive. I'll link it in Discord. Legit. Some of the best TV I've ever watched. 20 minutes an episode. 8 episodes a season. 2 seasons. That's it. And if you want to go back and watch the 2007 to 2009 web series, which you might remember, if you've ever seen
This fucking classic.
Oh, wrong keyboard. Everything's falling apart. I mean,
Matt! Yeah? Update day! What? New Wii titles. What? I'm in the bathroom. Update day for the Wii shopping channel. It's funny because normally they do it at midnight, but it's like 11. It's like 11:15. What time is it in Japan? Fucking turn that up. I love that grooving. What kind of music is that? Like a bossa nova beat? Makes me really want to just croon it. This is such a danceable song. You know what we should do? We should write a song for our act with
so you've seen these
titles
guys.
of Wii games.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Because everybody knows about the Wii shopping channel,
Yeah.
and everybody loves to shop on it every Wednesday. So what we'll do is we'll
Right.
write a theme song
Every
for
Wednesday.
the Wii shopping channel. Look, watch this. Watch it. Watch this. Watch this. You can sing to the titles of the Super Mario RPG, Super Mario 3, Mega Man, Neo Turf Masters, Breakin' Star. You know what I mean, Jared?
Yeah.
Like every star, you say the lyrics of the. Let me try one.
Super Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of Lolo 1 and 2,
King's Knight, Dig Dug, Juman Fu,
Harvest Moon,
You write this song?
Link Puzzle Pokemon, Toe Jam and Earl and Panic on Funkotron, Castlevania, Fatal Fury, Ninja Chuchu, Mario Comet, Razor Blazing, Lasers, Bases Loaded, Mega Turrican, Cybernator, Rolling Thunder, Dynastic Hero, Bubble Bobble, Double Double Dragon F-Zero.
I get it. You memorize the song.
Zero X and Donkey Kong Jr. Math, Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, Cruising USA.
Fucking classic bit. Fucking classic.
Wow!
Classic bit. One of my favorite videos ever on the planet, ever made. Nirvana, the band that shows Update Day. That's from the 2007 to 2009 web series. I would like for you to imagine, what if you gave those guys enough budget for a TV show? What would you get? What if you gave Matt Johnson, that blonde schmuck, if you gave him $15,000 and just let him do whatever the hell he wanted with it? The result is Nirvana, the band, the show. And I'm desperately encouraging you to give it a look-see, give it a watch. It's the one. It, like Near Replicant, taught me that your media doesn't have to be original. I'm putting that in a lot of quotes. I want to listen to just I've got Wii Shop Bossa Nova 1 hour in my recommended right now. But I think we'll go with Best of Drum and Bass Unreal Superhero Elation Remix. Ah. Nirvana, the band show. Please. Give it a watch. Let me get the archive up just so that I can. I mean, if I censored the first episode, we'd be able to watch the whole thing. Like, actually. Because the only reason it's on the Internet Archive is because they can't put it anywhere to sell it. You can't stream this shit. There's just too many. It is a licensing copyright infringement minefield. It really is. It brings a spirit that I haven't had to life. Oh my god. I can't stop fucking gushing about how good Nirvana the band the show is. And I'm pasting it right here. Wait, no, I know the keyboard commands for this. Oh, but this is on. You know, I went to go paste it in chat over here. This is a different computer. I was wondering why paste wouldn't work. That's why. Just be mindful of TOS. I mean, mindful of TOS is the whole reason why I can't watch the first episode. It's really fucking funny, but yeah. I can't show it on Twitch. Wait, I guess we can put the we can do just like the first bit before the opening credits. The opening credits would be. I mean, you could get pretty far without having to censor it, but we'll put on the opening credits and then I'll link it in the fucking Discord because I really do encourage you to go watch this stupid show and play that stupid game that I played. Not to go autistic and make you do like friend homework. You ever get that from your friends? You ever get friend homework from your friends and they're like, you got to read this manga that I read when I was a kid. It was like it's 150 issues. Or like, yeah, I had a friend who was like, you want to watch One Piece? And I'm like, that's a heavy ask. I think that they accepted that I wasn't going to be able to watch One Piece. But then I did go and watch the Marineford arc, or most of it with Wiggin and with James, and I can say I get it. I get why people love One Piece. What? Oh my god, I cried. I didn't have the same relationship that like 800 episodes had built up earlier before, but the feeling was still there. There's just this sincerity and this honesty where even dropped in the middle like that, it felt real. Anyway, watch Nirvana the fucking band the show. It's so fucking good. I want you. This is the tip of the goddamn iceberg as far as their humor is concerned. It gets so much better. Every episode ups the ante. I had watched a lot of interviews from Matt Johnson, like the moment I had finished season 1 of this, because I needed to know fucking more. One is that he's only ever made like 3 feature films. One of them was that like dramatic documentary biopic thing about BlackBerry. Remember with Glenn Howerton in it? Dennis from It's Always Sunny. He directed that. Does that link not work? Are you
trolling me?
Okay, no, yeah, that works. The pinned one, just the pinned one. Nirvana the band the show. Where was I? Somebody bring me interviews. He did the fucking BlackBerry dramatic documentary, because it's a Canadian company, I guess. Then he did one called Operation Avalanche, which is great, but don't look it up. And he did his earliest work was just like the culmination of that 2007 to 2009 web series, where a bunch of kids try and get revenge on their bullies in high school. It's called The Dirties. And The Dirties fucking rocks. It's so good. These guys are fucking geniuses. Jay McCarroll, the brunette of the group, actually being able to do that piano improv, no matter what it is that fucking Matt asks for, that is not him rehearsing that. That is not him time after time practicing these specific movements in this moment. He is so musically inclined. He can instantly think of a little melody, little tune and improv it on an entire piano. And it reignited my love of music too, because back when I was a poor little middle school boy, and was so embarrassing, and I got a Casio keyboard from my dad for my birthday, and I learned to play video game music because that was my favorite kind of music when I was in middle school. Of course it was. I'm autistic. I'm stupid. It's great. And I remember being lambasted by All You Know Is Video Game Music. And I remember feeling bad about that. I don't care anymore. Because now I have to write video game music, so it's pretty important to know how to play it. And it teaches you your scales. Real simple melodies. They're great. Fuck you if you talk shit on somebody who's learning how to play music via video game music. Fuck you. All like 6 of you who bullied me in middle school about that. Because you tried to kill somebody's passion. I think you need to understand that. I'm going to put on one more clip from Nirvana, the band, the show. This is from their extras DVDs in regards to video game music. A regular bit that they do in all their extras is fuck, their acronym is so hard to type. They call it the piano sessions, where something needs to be done. Matt asks for help, and this is what happens. Here it is, fine. I would love to. I gotta get my like Stream Deck set up again.
Okay. Oh, God damn it. Jay, you want to give me a hand with this?
The feeling that Jay McCarroll and Matt Johnson evoke with that is fucking phenomenal. Every bit sort of plays on this nostalgia there's a shared nostalgia that we all have for the media that we consume growing up. And he recontextualizes a piece like Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI to now be more about the emotion of remembering that experience, of where you were then when you played Final Fantasy VI. Who were you then? What would they think of you now? It's that same feeling of you don't know when the good times are until you're already out of them. But at the end, Matt Johnson smiles because, well, yes, the pale shade of memory can never compare to the emotion, the color, the vibrance of lived experience. The feeling is still there. And the act of remembering it is like invoking a, a ghost of a past that once was. Anyway, he's got one for like Terminator 2 and Charlie Brown and Diablo, and they all rock. They all do that same thing where they just pull you back to a time. The Diablo one especially does a lot for me. Um, I'm just gonna put it on because I just want to listen to that fucking banger. Did you guys ever play Diablo? The first one and Diablo 2? I played Diablo 2 a lot more than Diablo 1, but I did play Diablo 1. Oh my god, I just realized what he was doing right there. They're so genius. I wonder if I could still play it. Because this is one of the tracks that I started learning piano with. Is he gaming in rubber gloves? Yes, he is. Oh my god, don't look at my recommended. This is embarrassing. This is, oh, Trauma Center 2 soundtrack. Got more shoe wave down here. Uh, this is embarrassing. But I mean, all of these rock. Did you guys hear Invisible? Did you guys hear Duran Duran? This track came out fucking 2 years ago. But my friend sent this to me and went, haha, doesn't this sound like it should have been in Metal Gear Solid 5? It sounds like it should have been in Metal Gear Solid 5. But put this one on. This one evokes. This is what Christmas felt like this year for me. I spent Christmas on my own. Just me. And I watched a lot of like the Rankin Bass holiday specials, which I absolutely love and adore. I call my family and talk to people.
Jay, you want to give me a hand with this?
This one. Man, geniuses of their craft. I love me I love me some recontextualization. Final Fantasy VI, that's all their like most melodramatic and most almost sad feeling work. Feels like something Nathan Fielder would be. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I made a comparison to them earlier because Nathan Fielder is also a Canadian comedian who rides a similar line of I don't know what's scripted, I don't know what's naturally occurring. I'm debating. No, I can't show any more of these. All right, I'm probably gonna head out here. Actually, I think I had a great time streaming again. Isn't that rock? I'll link Nirvana the band the show their archive. Oh, watch this whole fucking thing, dude. And then I'll fix that bot. I'm gonna put that in general. I'm gonna fucking. Oh wait, no, I'll put it in. I guess I don't really have like a just a. I got music and jams. I've got gaming. I don't have any of these channels. These are ones that I fucking made like 5 years ago. Do anybody use these? I gotta change this whole fucking setup. I'm just gonna put it in there. I'm gonna pin it. Is your moral obligation to watch Nirvana the band the show. You weren't wrong about it being funny. They make it funny. It's like the especially the in a vacuum. If you watch any of their individual bits, they all hit. Like the fucking uh Final Fantasy VI piano sessions bit is funny to have it be like superimposed there as he looks longingly up towards a past that he wishes he could recapture. It's a fucking funny visual to have, especially Matt Johnson do it with it. He's a weird, funny looking guy, and he's funny. He's great. I implore you to watch all of it or any of it, or none at all. But in the meantime, I'll stream another time. I don't know when. I'm not gonna make any promises. I'll stream whenever I want to. It was nice seeing all of you. Bingus, Yarlathotep, Various. Just reading all the names as I scroll up. Hinga Dinga Dipshit. That's a pretty good one. Twin B Mark II. Roll the D. Man, look at all these. Look at all these real people. It's crazy, right? You get so used to the likes that the comments, the meaningful messages from people don't. Those float away. You so get used to the big number. No, numbers suck. Goodbye, guys. See you next time.